what's up, guys? It's me, Eugene Smilez. Welcome back. I have another video. So I have been scrolling through Twitter, and the performance, I want to say it was like 2006 BET Awards, where Beyonce performed Deja Vu. Body banging, hair huge, vocals on point, energy ridiculous. Like, that is my favorite performance, and people were just talking about it, and I was just like, dang, I haven't I haven't ranked her albums yet. And I did Rihanna's albums last year, over 1,000 views. Thank you for everybody who watched it, and it's going to be a link up here for it. And people were like, do Beyonce, because of course, you know, Beyonce and Rihanna, for whatever reason, are tied together sometime, and people want to, you know, whatever. But I was like, I feel inspired. I'm going to go ahead and do Beyonce's ranking of her albums. But before we get started, y'all know, Eugene Smilez, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Cash App. You know, you want to drop a little, you know, a little donation, a little yang, $ Eugene Smilez. Like, share, subscribe, all of that. So, and I have been thinking about this because I have a lot of opinions about Beyonce's discography. You know, you ever have words you don't say that loud? That was one of those words. And the ranking of her albums. So when I was at work today, I started ranking them, and I started going through. You know, when you're really gonna rank an album, you have to go through. You have to look at the songs, sometimes play the songs, and then it got to the point where I was just like, okay, how many songs do I like on this album? How many do I like on this one? What is the comparison? Do I really like these songs? Are they just okay? Like, I literally had to do it. So this ranking is going to be a little different than the Rihanna ranking. To me, of course, everything here is my opinion, but y'all gonna still drag me about something. I already know y'all gonna drag me about something. But this ranking is really about the best Beyonce album. The best Beyonce album. You know, Beyonce's not an artist that can do any genre and any sound and it be like amazing and be a hit. She's not that. She at heart is an R&B girl. It is what it is. She's an R&B girl. And that's absolutely fine. Now, Beyonce has done pop records that have done very well, and she's done other records. But if you notice, like, her country songs haven't done very well. Her rock songs don't really move people that much. But people they like the funk. They like the funk. They like the R&B. They like even the hip hop-ish stuff. So, to me, listening to her discography, I'm saying that right, I had to just do it differently. So I'm going to explain why these albums are in these slots and in here. Don't drag me too bad. Or just drag me.
Drag me, Monique!
So, this is Beyonce. This is not Destiny's Child. It's not Beyonce and Destiny's Child. This is not Beyonce, the Carters. This is Beyonce's discography. So all of her studio albums will be included in the ranking. So we will not have, of course, the Carter's album. We won't have any Destiny's Child albums. We will not have Homecoming. The reason we won't have Homecoming because, one, it's not a studio album. It was a live album. And just like the Beyonce Experience. And it's like a greatest hit. So, you know, it don't count. So we're gonna start from the bottom, and we're gonna go all the way up. I'm just anticipating the comments. Cause I know there's stands. You know, you have stands of artists and you have stands of certain projects. Number 7, I Am Sasha Fierce. I'm sorry, guys. This is Beyonce's worst album. Her absolute worst album. Keep in mind, this is right after B-Day, which B-Day I'm going to talk about later, is right after B-Day. And I just feel like Beyonce was really trying to be on her pop, like Barbra Streisand shit, like Satellites and Hello and Ava Marie and it was just like, and she doesn't sound bad on the songs, but it's just, it didn't fit, especially when the first single was Single Ladies, and she had the visual, and it was just so funky, and it was dancing, and it was, and then you get on that, you listen to the album, and it's just like, okay. And then the fast songs you do have, I felt could have been better. Like, I really felt she was trying to get a white audience, and this is her third album, so let's do the total opposite of B-Day. Let's get a different audience. And it just didn't work for me. Now, I did buy the album. Back in the day, I did buy the album. I do like a lot of songs off the album, but I don't love a lot of songs off the album. Again, Beyonce sounds great. She has a great voice even on pop records, but it just doesn't move me. It just doesn't move me. I don't even like Single Ladies like that. It just Video Phone. The song name is Video Phone. Beautiful Nightmare was good, but it just doesn't move me. And the name of the album is I Am Sasha Fierce. So I'm like, oh shit, this B-Day Part 2. Nope, not at all. It just, let's move on. Number 6. The Gift. Hold on. The main reason The Gift is so low is because all the songs ain't Beyonce songs. I was trying to think whether I wanted to include it on the ranking, because some people say, well, it ain't really a Beyonce album, it's a soundtrack. It's not a soundtrack. Those songs were not in the movie. Listen was in the movie, but Listen was actually on the soundtrack that came out. But it's not a soundtrack. It's inspired by, but it is still an album. You know what I'm saying? It's still a Beyonce album. When you look it up, it says Beyonce, The Gift. And she has some really dope songs on there, like Move Forever and Nile and Find Your Way Back. But the only reason it's really ranked so low is because she's not on all the songs. If she was on all the songs and, you know, they were still good, it might have been ranked higher. But that's the main reason why The Gift is at number 6. Y'all. Number 5. Lemonade. Oh. I know y'all are probably cursing me out right now. Lemonade is at number 5. Yes, Lemonade. It's so weird because you see, Lemonade is on all these, like, it was on all these crazy end of the decade lists, end of the year lists. It's now made Rolling Stone's like 500 best albums ever. I think it's like 30 something. It's really hot, and I just be looking like, y'all, do y'all really like this album? Do y'all really like this album? And I think it's mostly hype. It's mostly hype. When I listen through Lemonade, there's songs that I like. There's songs I cannot stand, but I can't. I'm trying to think, is there a song I love? Is there a song I love on Lemonade? When I listened to it, it wasn't something that I had on repeat over and over again. I remember loving Hold Up when I first heard it. Sorry when I first heard it. Love Drought is the best song on the album, which was originally written, one of the songwriters, I don't remember her name, she wrote it for her, about her record label, which is funny that how Beyonce flipped it. All Night is great, but that's about it. Like, I hate Forward, I hate Freedom, Don't Care for Sandcastles, Daddy Lessons is horrible, 6 Inches is cool, but I feel like this is a good, like, performance album. Like, so Beyonce is, if you haven't noticed, she's a visual artist. So, for instance, like Single Ladies. When Single Ladies first came out, the beat was out first. I remember on the website the beat was out, and then on radio, it came out, people was like, what the fuck is this? This is horrible. What is this? But then when the visual came out with the dance and all that, it was just like, oh, this is amazing. It was like one of the first music videos of like the internet era to really go viral and people doing it and all this kind of stuff. She's a visual artist, so her music does not sell on its own. When she drops, and that's why she's had visual albums, because at some point she realized, I sell better, I tell my story better through a visual. Like, her music doesn't always transcend on radio. It just doesn't. It is. And I think this is it's one of those albums. It's an album that's really good to perform because she can tell a story, and it's a visual album. If Lemonade did not have the visuals and that story that was attached to it, and that story also includes the whole shit with Solange beating up Jay-Z and all that, like, if all of that was not available and it was just an album, y'all wouldn't have been eating it up like that. And y'all really have not eaten it up that much, because it's just, I think it's just double platinum. Have they gone triple platinum yet? And, you know, she has a great first week, but y'all ain't still listening to it. It fell out the top 200. And we're in a streaming era now. So, and it's available on streaming, and it was available on streaming, and then it kind of fell back off. So, do y'all really like Lemonade? Because I've also seen a lot of people be like, Lemonade ain't really all that. Lemonade's not Beyonce's best album. As you see, it's number 5. Lemonade is not Beyonce's best album. It just ain't. Beyonce has that kind of voice and demeanor that really fits R&B and kind of maybe funk or something like that. So her doing country and doing rock, it just didn't really fit her as well. And Lemonade is not that good of an album. Y'all need to admit it. It's just, Lemonade is not that girl. It's just not. It's not that girl. Number 4. So number 3 and number 4, I really went back and forth with number 3 and number 4. And I ended up liking, I had to go to the point where I was like, which one do I like better? Which one do I have like more songs? And on this ranked number 4 album, I did like more songs, but I think on the number 3 album, I liked the songs I liked better, if that makes any sense. So number 4, y'all probably gonna get me again, is Beyonce. Oh. Number 4 is Beyonce. Beyonce is actually the last album I bought. I bought it on iTunes because she did the surprise drop with all the videos, and I was like, oh, I can buy this. You know, it has all the videos included. And I think this is where she really took advantage of it, being a visual artist. And it's great. It's a good album. It is a good album. I think this one also made it on the 500 best albums of all time. It's not her best though. I think one of the issues I always had with this album was this is the album where she really just started to like be hard as Beyonce and like be cursing, like hard cursing. Because, you know, back in the day, Beyonce was kind of trying to have that good girl image, and she wouldn't curse, and you wouldn't see her doing nothing like crazy. But then this album is when she started talking about getting skeeted on and roll the partition up, please, and just doing all this extra cursing, like, and trying to be hard. And it was just like, she doesn't really sell that to me that much. She doesn't really sell it. She doesn't give me that for real. But you know what? You know what it really came down to though, between this album and the other album, was the slow song. So the number 3, the number 3 album is 4. And this is a very underrated album because this album, I think, only went platinum. It didn't win all the Grammys and get all the nominations that, you know, I don't even think it got nominated until Love on Top got nominated like the following year and won. But it was really Rocket versus Dance For You. That was kind of how I had to make the determining factor on what album would be 3 and 4. And I love Rocket, but Dance For You is harder than Rocket. I'm sorry. Dance For You is way harder than Rocket. Dance For You fits her voice better. It fits her style better. Dance For You is way fucking harder than Rocket. Again, I think y'all wouldn't have been eating up the Beyonce album as much had she not had the videos, which I think those set of videos were a lot better than the Lemonade videos, because it was just giving us, it was giving us ratchet Beyonce, but it was just giving us something totally different, and it wasn't a made up story to try to go along and push the album like Lemonade was. So that's why it ended up being number 4, because I felt like, yeah, it was good, but the videos is what made people think it was better than what it was. And I'm literally ranking the albums. Like, this is the quality of the songs, and it has a few songs on that I hate. Like, I hate Haunted. I fucking hate that song. So if I have a song on that I fucking hate, it's getting a low ranking. That's just it's just what it is. Now 4 is definitely underrated because it didn't give us like the pop-ish, the popular radio kind of song. Run the World came out, which I did not like Run the World. It's a great workout song, but I just hated that same beat, Pon the Floor, was out the summer before, and then she grabbed it and used the same beat and made a song. I could not stand that. But 4 is an R&B album, and literally 4 is like related to Dangerously in Love a lot, because Dangerously in Love was an R&B album, and 4 is an R&B album. They're like the sister albums. Just like yeah, they're definitely just like the sister albums. And she sounds so amazing on it. Best I Ever Had. I hate 1+1. I really do not like that song, but it's tolerable. I do not like that song. Love on Top, Countdown. Like, it was really that R&B album, and she was really giving us the acrobats with the vocals and everything. Like, it was so R&B, and I think that fit her so well. And I had to go back and listen to, I listened to 4, then I listened to Beyonce, and 4, I was singing all the songs and jamming, all of that. Beyonce, I was listening to it and then kind of doing other things. So 4 is definitely one of Beyonce's best albums that people need to revisit. Of course, there's a couple songs on it that aren't good, but they need to revisit it. It's more authentic. And then also I keep talking about Beyonce. Also, the Beyonce album, I didn't like the features. I think Beyonce's an artist that doesn't really need heavy features on it. Like the song Mine with Drake sounds like a Drake song. Like, when you listen to that song, it sounds like a Drake song that Beyonce's just singing. I hate it. I hate it for that reason. Superpower with Frank Ocean sounds like a Frank Ocean song. And I think when it comes to Beyonce working with popular artists, and if they're writing the song, it just sounds like them. Beyonce's not giving me what I want out of a song. So I'd rather her just work with a songwriter or just somebody totally different, because it just doesn't give me something that I can feel. Number 2. What do y'all think my number 2 is? Number 2, I'm gonna have to go with Dangerously in Love. Dangerously in Love and 4 are like sister albums. Dangerously in Love, of course, was her first solo album, came on the scene with Crazy in Love. It's an R&B album, and literally from beginning all the way till because there is a part where I have to stop and I'm like, oh, I ain't listening to nothing else after this. From Crazy in Love all the way down to Speechless, Flawless. I mean, Crazy in Love, Naughty Girl, Baby Boy, Hip Hop Star, Be With You, especially the run of Be With You, Me, Myself, and I, Yes, Signs, and Speechless. That run of pure R&B, and this is like her biggest selling album, I think. Her biggest selling album. Like, that run of those R&B songs, it was so R&B. And it was so in her element. And it fit so well. How You Like It with Jay-Z, they could have left that shit off. Closer I Get to You, of course, is a really good song. It's a good R&B song. It's just not something I listen to over and over again, but it has a legendary Luther Vandross on it. Dangerously in Love almost got this album a little lower just because you recycled the song. You literally kicked Kelly and Michelle off the album and used the same song. Shade. Gift from a Virgo, I Hate, and Daddy, I fucking hate. So, but like, from like, again, Crazy in Love to Speechless, flawless. Such an R&B album, such in her element. I wouldn't mind another R&B album from Beyonce. Like, this rapping shit she doing now, all right, we good on that. Like, give us R&B. Give us R&B. Give us another R&B album. I definitely would love to her do an R&B album and do some collaborations with some new girls or something. Give us an R&B album. Number one, y'all know what number one is B-Day. B-Day is Beyonce's best album. The reason B-Day is Beyonce's best album, because B-Day was the birth of the Beyonce that we know now. We got the Crazy in Love on Dangerously in Love and stuff like that. And it was that kind of, and it was an R&B. It was kind of a slow burned album, you know what I'm saying? But B-Day was jam after jam after jam, like bumping, like dancing, like crazy. The Beyonce Experience is probably still my favorite. Yeah, my favorite tour that I've seen. I didn't see it live, I had it on DVD, but B-Day literally is jam after jam, like Deja Vu, Get Me Body, Sugar Mama, Upgrade You, Ring the Alarm, Kitty Cat, Freakum Dress, Green Light, and then goes into Irreplaceable, like back to back. And I think that's something that Beyonce's missing in her music now. We don't really have a lot of back to back to back to back to back jams. Like, literally, we would go to the club and they would be playing the whole Beyonce album. That's how banging B-Day is. And people like to act like B-Day is not one of her best, or are you crazy? Like, that was the birth of the Beyonce that we have now. That performance style, those vocals, that jamming, that how they changed the renditions of her songs for live, all of that came from B-Day. B-Day birthed all that shit, and it was it. And she was just in her element. Everything was in her element. And to end with Irreplaceable, I mean, it does have Resentment. I took Resentment. Don't like Resentment. And I went to go see the Carter World Tour or whatever. Not Carter World Tour, but On the Run 2. And I'll put that review up there. I hate Resentment. Check Up On It was a bonus track or whatever on here, but back to back to back to back to back to back. Anybody that says that B-Day is not Beyonce's best album, you tripping, because it is absolutely her best album. The fuck? Like, what do y'all think about my ranking? Do you agree? Do you disagree? What is your ranking? Put your ranking down into the comments, man. Like, share, subscribe. Y'all don't cuss me out too bad, man. But it's true. Everything I said is facts. It's facts. B-Day is the best album. I'm Sasha Fierce is the worst album that she's ever made. Y'all just gonna have to deal with it. I'm out. Hey, thanks for checking out my video. Make sure you guys like, share, subscribe, and click a link for some more content.